Hi, everyone. It's been a long time. Welcome back to another edition of Coffee, Community, and Cocktails. I'm your host, Angela McFarland. I am super excited to have Mike Apple with me today. Michael is he's a board member for Jakes Baristas. He is the person that is responsible for the ambulance reconstruction, along with a team of people that helped him, and we'll get into who they were a little bit later. Michael won my President's Award last year at our Sunday Fun Day because of his tireless efforts and dedication to our mission. And he's my BFF. So, welcome, Michael.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm happy to be here.
I know.
I've finally been asked to
Uh-huh.
participate.
I know. And listen, it's been, I think the last one we did was in June, and if I'm not mistaken, it was Russ Money. And money. And then life just got even crazier, and I had to cut something out. And this was the thing that I had to cut out. So, but we're starting off the new year back. We wanted to do this last month, but we couldn't, mostly because we both did dry January, and we were like, yeah, we can't do cocktails.
Idea.
Yeah, that was your idea.
It was a horrible idea.
Horrible idea.
A lot of birthdays went without being celebrated.
They did.
Including
well,
my
just
own.
yours. Yeah, really, just yours.
No, a lot of birthdays in January. So we'll catch up with those people.
Yeah, my brother-in-law Joe, but I had the flu too. So anyway, the first thing that we did when we picked the date was Michael told me without hesitation that he was bringing his own small glass, and I knew that I had to provide the captain, but I wanted a different drink, right? So last night I was on TikTok, and I was just like looking at different cocktails and whatever, and I found this one. And what's it called again? Do we know what this is called?
I don't think we know what it's called.
No, it didn't have a name. I think it had a name.
See, we have our phones on the table.
Yeah, we have.
Every time they go off, text, phone call, whatever, you have to drink.
Yeah, that's gonna be. It's called the Batanga, not the Topanga.
Not to be confused.
Not to be confused with Topanga.
B12.
And I think I pretty much made it, the right way.
Follow directions.
Yeah, it's delicious. It's basically a tequila-based cocktail, but you use Mexican Coke because of the sugar. Because, that's what I need. More sugar.
For sure.
So, I think a lot of people that know me know you peripherally, right?
Sure. Yeah.
Like, they'll say, who's that guy that's always with you and Jay? He doesn't talk much, but, and I'm always like, oh, it's Apple. Or I've actually had people who are friends of mine on social media that have seen our banter.
Me too.
And commented and been like, why do you two not have a show? And I'm like, nobody would.
We've had friends of mine who have friended you
Yes.
on Facebook just so they could see both sides of our conversations.
And vice versa.
Right, yeah.
And vice versa. So
we're funny.
We are funny. I said to Jason, we're going to be drinking. And he goes, I thought you were going to be talking about the mission and the ambulance. I said, we are, but we're going to be drinking.
I mean, at some point you have to introduce cocktails to the Coffee Community and Cocktails podcast.
Listen, little do people know, in that cup that I have every week, there's been cocktails in it many a time. Jason is just blatant with his Miller Lite can.
It's not really a cocktail.
Oddly enough, there's water in his Miller Lite can.
Go figure.
Yeah, right. So I guess one thing that, and I don't think I've ever even asked you this, because you have been around Vinyl Closet since the beginning. And when we moved from North Wales to Norristown, right 2 doors down where we were prior to sort of the whole Barista Jake Coffee Closet thing taking place, you were instrumental in a lot of that. You know, you were spending a lot of time painting all of the record racks that John Dallas built.
Yeah, one of a lot of people.
Yeah,
helping
yeah,
out, for
no,
sure.
definitely one of a lot of people. But why? Why are you that person that when you have a friend, no matter what they need from you, including burying a body, I think he's just waiting for that call.
Like I haven't gotten that call already.
I meant
It's
from
not
me.
from you.
You know, what is it about you that makes you put your friends so high up?
It makes me feel good to do things for other people, to help, if I can.
Yeah.
If I'm generous with my time,
Yes.
and not that I have a lot of money, but often with my money,
Yeah.
make donations to people. It's what I like to do. It makes me feel good.
Good.
So
Makes
try
me
to
feel good too.
yeah, and I don't often get a chance to do things like painting racks or reassembling a stage or hanging lights, stuff like that.
Oh, is that what we're gonna do now?
Gonna point out-
Yeah. So
Build shelves.
build shelves, set up, do the stage
Right.
with Jamie Salvatore from Jamie and the Guarded
and the
Heart.
Guarded Heart, check them out.
Yeah, paint the windows because I complained about the sun. Setting up the lights.
Built walls.
Built
with
walls.
Larry and,
Redid my office.
Yeah.
While he's here today, he's gonna look at the door because something's wrong.
if only you knew a person who was in the door business, that would be great.
Oh, that is you.
Oh.
You are in the
Go
door
figure.
business.
What a coincidence.
You know, you're my driver for the ambulance a lot of times until you instilled enough confidence in me to be able to do it myself.
yeah.
Our running joke is that we share custody of the ambulance because, as I said, Michael was on the board. So for a while, anytime we did any type of mobile event, Jacob and I were literally loading all of the supplies into drink.
Where's the noise come?
He got a text. Jacob and I were literally loading everything into my, at the time, 2007 Camry. And there was literally no room for Jake. So
He would sit in the back seat with stuff on his
he
lap.
would. We would
be up
pile
to his
stuff
head.
on top of
Like if
him.
you ever got into an accident, forget it.
Oh, he would have been
decapitated.
all done.
Yeah.
All done. Bye-bye, Jake.
We just call that poor parenting.
That's what-
we're going to call that.
well,
All done.
I mean, he was
Yeah.
18 at the time,
All
so
done,
it really
bye-bye.
was done.
yeah, he was. He was 19. It's
Just make
fine.
another one. It's like him. Make another one. Start over.
He, but I mean, I remember the one in particular. We did the walk, the Einstein walk
Yeah.
for your mom,
Yeah.
and you know we set everything up. You did the 5K. You came back, and then we're literally shoving Jake in the car and.
Yeah. With stuff on his
Just
lap, stuff around
stuff,
his head.
and Hope too.
Yeah, and Hope.
And her mother let me do that.
Yeah.
But
Again,
I remember you going, we got to figure out a better way. So cut to, you know, maybe a couple months later, another one of our board members made mention that there was a decommissioned ambulance potentially up for grabs from Plymouth Ambulance.
made mention to just you.
Just me. Yeah, just me. So I begin sort of the legwork behind that. Well, what does that look like? What would it need? Knowing in my head that you were going to do the work, never actually having the conversation with you.
Not until you got it.
And then I think I said, oh, by the way, we got the ambulance. When do you want to
We
get
were
started?
in your office,
Yeah.
and you said, "Oh, I got the ambulance," and I was like, "I don't know what you're talking about. What ambulance? What are we doing?"
Yeah.
But once you told me, I was
You were
in.
all in.
Yeah, I was in.
You were all in. And I think that was in April of 22, right? Yeah, because we're going, April of 22.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you really spent the better part of April to October dedicating yourself, all your free time, a lot of your own resources to just gutting it and coming up with schematics and then bringing in some additional volunteers. Jimmy Dahl,
Very important.
very
people.
important. Kevin
Kevin
did a
Moyer.
lot of the electrician work. John Dallas
Dallas.
doing the plumbing.
Even Joe Angelo laying
Oh,
underneath that
Joe-
thing with me,
Yeah.
trying to replace an alternator at 10 o'clock at night.
That's right.
Yeah, in the dark, it was, yeah.
Was that when it would just randomly beep?
No, we'll cover that. That was just, it has two alternators and one died.
Oh.
And,
I don't even know if I know that because so much went on with it that he would text me and I would go, forget it. Let's just get rid of it. I don't even want it anymore. Because it was so incredibly mentally stressful for me because he's doing the work and I'm like nauseous because I'm like, how am I going to pay for this? How am I going to pay for this? So I started selling sponsorships. That came, actually, we were like, how are we going to pay for this? And then one day we were at the Creekside and CJ Santangelo, actually, very dear friend of ours, came up with the idea.
Hot Sauce Junkies.
Hot
Check
Sauce
them out, too.
Junkies, yep. And he said, here's what I think you had said, let's get it wrapped.
At some point, I think
And so
that
I,
was a thought.
yeah. And so I knew that CJ was involved with, like CJ and Rob have Edge Designs. So I was like, well, what would that look like? And I approached CJ and asked him, and he was like, no, that's not what you want to do. You want to sell sponsorships because then you can create revenue to offset all of the maintenance of it. And I was like, that is genius. So we launched that and did, we did well. It took a long time. It took a solid 7 months, and I think we got something like 8,000 in donations.
I mean, without the sponsors, none of it happens.
Oh my God, absolutely not. But not just the sponsors. Jimmy Dahl, that's thousands of dollars worth of stainless
Jimmy
that
Dahl
he donated.
Came up with all the stainless that I designed. Not only did he supply it, he helped me install it.
Yes.
Kevin Moyer, again, thousands of dollars worth of electrical hardware.
Yeah.
And installed it. John Dallas, all the plumbing supplies donated, and his time.
Yeah. And you know what's funny to me? So Kevin didn't know me from Adam. Kevin is a friend of Jimmy's. Jimmy went to high school with Jason. But what I found out was, I think it's Kevin's nephew is on the spectrum.
Yeah, I think it was.
And so, when you find other people that have an understanding of what your mission is, they're more inclined and more apt to help. Now, your niece is on the spectrum, but she didn't have a diagnosis when you started being very involved with us.
No.
That all, excuse me, that all really just stemmed from your undying love of me.
It also stems from the idea. I wanted that challenge. I wanted that project to do. It seemed like fun.
Yeah. Did it seem like fun at 2 o'clock in the morning when it would rain?
When
And
I'm watching,
the lights would go off?
I'm binging Stranger Things, and it's pouring, and it's 11. It was 11 o'clock at night. It's not 2 a.m. And the backup beeper starts screaming, and the lights are flashing because there's a short somewhere. No, that part was not fun.
No, wasn't I down the shore or something? And you're like, sorry to interrupt your vacation.
Yeah, I think you were.
It was really pleasant.
And I had to go outside and disconnect the battery, and it never stopped. And that's when I realized, oh yeah, there are two batteries. I disconnect them both.
Yeah.
Same thing that recently happened here.
Yes.
And then I disconnected both batteries, and it still didn't stop because it was plugged in. So we had shore power. They call it shore power.
Okay.
So
So, I mean, you took the time, the research that you did. Now, granted, you're a self-proclaimed little bit of a nerd. You love cars.
I do.
You
I'm a
love
car person.
you love learning things. I mean, you taught yourself how to paint, like what do you call that? Pendulum painting.
Yeah, that's not that hard. I'm no genius, believe me.
No, but I mean, there's not a whole lot of people that I know that are like, I'm gonna just hook a can up and that's what I'm gonna spend my night
Listen,
doing.
I look at if somebody on Instagram can do it, I can do it.
No,
Clearly.
no doubt.
So
He-
it really required a lot of, honestly, sitting in the back of that thing,
Yeah.
just staring at it, trying to figure out, after talking to you about what do you want to put in here,
Right.
What equipment, what do we need, and then figuring out how to make that happen.
And the fact that you are so kind of flexible with the fact that it really is a fluid situation because we've already changed the way we function within the ambulance a couple times. and we're looking to change it again because there's certain things, in your head, you think, oh, this is going to work great. And then cut to 35 mobile events later, and you're like, this is a problem, that's a problem, this doesn't fit, and I call you and go, this is what I need. And you built me that shelf for the back. And now I need you to rip those johns out of the side.
Sliding
and
doors.
figure out another way to keep my syrups from tipping over. So,
I got it. I figured it out already.
You did?
Yeah, I got it.
Of course you did. Of course you did. And that is
I
why
have-
you won the President's
I
Award.
mean, I have a theory.
Yeah.
Like, everything's great on paper.
Yeah.
In practice, we'll see.
Yeah. But, that is an example of why you won the President's Award. Not because, she gave it to him because, they've been friends since high school and it's her best friend. I have lots of really good friends. My husband is on the board. He didn't win the President's Award.
Not yet.
He just gave me the thumbs down.
Not yet.
No, but
I wouldn't take it. I'd give it to somebody.
would you paint it black if I gave it to you?
Paint more black.
Somebody allegedly painted their award black because it's glass.
Because he gets bored, right?
true.
He sits at home.
Are you serious?
I swear to God. And then he told me, and he saw how mad I was, so he went home and he scraped all the black paint
I
off.
took the paint off, cleaned it up. Yeah. Because it's clear.
Because he thought better of his actions.
It's clear. So it was hard to see if I had it in front of a white wall. It was hard to read. Listen, not that anybody's coming in my place and reading it
I was
anyway.
going to say, you got a
But
lot of company coming over checking out your awards.
In the event, somebody stops by, like a family member.
Hey, Mike, you think I could see your award?
Random
I got a
strangers.
text, Rick. Oh,
Oh,
you're empty.
I know. We have to stand. Cut this.
Dan, we may have to pause because I need to fill. All right.
We'll be right back.
Hold, please.
We needed refills.
Theme song for it.
Yeah, please do.
Where were
So, I think we were talking about,
Definitely talking about the ambulance.
we were definitely talking about the ambulance, just, ideas, I'll come to you with an idea, a thought, you do the same thing. A lot of times you'll say to me, here's what we're doing.
Yeah. I
And-
mean, I do think of it as mine.
I know you do.
It's like my child,
Yes.
and I let you use it.
He lets me foot the bill for it.
Right. I mean, I let you use it.
Uh-huh.
Speaking of the bill, I mean, as far as the donations, which were, it would not have happened without
No,
those.
absolutely
without the
not.
Financial donations from
Correct.
the bands and all the businesses and the individual people.
Right.
We came in, luckily, well under budget,
We did, which is why we've been able to sustain it
right, to maintain it.
for 2 years.
Yeah, we were lucky to, it had very few mechanical problems.
Correct. I mean, and the good people at Plymouth Ambulance have been really gracious too. Whose is that? Drink, producer. Drink, Dr. Stan. That's one of the things I think that people don't understand. When we first started with that, and truth be told, and I think anybody that knows me personally knows this, I am really good at a lot of things. What I am not good at, believe it or not, is
I believe it.
huh?
I believe it.
I know you do.
I don't know where you're going, but I believe it.
Is valuing my time,
For sure.
right? So people would say, can you bring your ambulance? Can you do this? Can you do that? And I can't tell you the amount of times that I did mobile events at no cost to anybody but myself and Jake, and, wore that kid down. And mind you, things I don't think that people understand is it runs on diesel. Check out the gas prices. The generator has to run the whole duration that we're there at an event. So if it's a 6-hour event, it has to run at least 7 hours because I need to have it going to brew before. So that's, filling the gas tank a couple times. The supplies, all of that.
I mean, you insure it, whether it's sitting here.
Insurance,
Yeah,
yes, the insurance.
There are costs associated with doing it.
100%. And I was never good at kind of qualifying that. The board has really taught me, and another thing that you've been really integral in is letting me figure out how to run this nonprofit, but yet holding me accountable at the same time. Like, I may not do things the way you always think that it should be done. You're very conscious to say, what are you going to make doing this? Or why are you giving to those people? Did they do anything, or have they reciprocated? You're
that's
kind of the
important.
heavy for me sometimes.
When you give half of the money that you earn away to another nonprofit, it's beautiful. I mean, that's a great thing, the philanthropy. But if those nonprofits don't reciprocate in some way,
Right.
why are we doing it?
Right.
Like, it's supposed to be a joint effort.
Right,
There's a community of nonprofits who all work together.
right.
So
That took me a while.
Yeah, it
though.
has to be a two-way street. I mean, you like these people personally,
Right.
but to make this happen, you can't give away half the money and then not get anything back.
Right.
It just doesn't work. It won't work.
And the funny thing is, Jason has been saying that from day one. But if Jason says it, I'm like, shut up. You don't know what you're talking about. It's my nonprofit. Da, da, da. And in the beginning, when you said it,
Yeah, it wasn't just me.
I would kind of say the same thing to you. John would say it. I'd say the same thing to him. But then I really kind of started to learn. When I started to see what I was spending, not just from a financial perspective in buying cups and the syrups and the coffee and the supplies and the this and that, but the time, making sure that I had volunteers to give up their time. And, without Hope and Anna, those mobile events don't happen
Doesn't happen.
because I get a good 2 hours out of Jake, I think, in a mobile event.
before he's off the rails.
Before he's off the rails, yeah. He gets distracted very easily.
When you're at those events, there's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on. There's some events where when it's just me and him, he knows he's got to keep his head in the game. And he starts his Jake-zilliness a little bit, but having volunteers there allows me to give him a chance to go wander, come back and help out. And we put everything back together. But you've taught me that my time is valuable too. That's why this year we started, we won't just show up at an event.
You have to make some money.
There has to be a compensation involved.
This doesn't
Yeah.
happen without money.
Correct.
So,
Correct.
and the most valuable thing you have is your time.
Yes.
That's,
But-
cliche as it is, you don't get that back.
No.
And now you've been doing this for 3 years now?
Well,
4 years?
the cart, it'll be 4 years in May.
But the nonprofit is
The
3?
nonprofit will be 3, yeah.
Right. And let's not forget, you don't get a paycheck.
No, I don't.
You don't make any money.
No, I don't.
Jake does not get a paycheck.
No, he does not.
This doesn't happen without money being brought in.
I got me a sugar daddy.
I ain't giving no money. I'm broke.
So you need to, it has to make sense. You run it like a business.
Yes,
You wanna
but
like
I'm queen of when you come in and you get an iced tea or a cookie or a bagel or something. You're like, ring me up, and I'm like, no, and you're like, I pay for my stuff. Like you get very.
Your friend, and listen, people do what they want, but nobody should expect to come in and because you're friends,
Right.
eat for free or drink for free.
Right.
Like this is your business, so you pay. You can be generous with your profits, but not with your business.
True.
It doesn't work that way.
True.
So you have to, like when I come in and I get some food or one of these cookies or whatever, you bought those cookies.
I did.
So I had to pay for it.
True.
And I have no problem with that. I'm happy to do it. The
bought
drinks
that
are
captain,
the
too.
drinks are free.
I was just gonna say I
The
bought that
drinks are
captain
free.
too.
Yeah. Wait till you get my bill for appearing tonight.
Oh.
Yeah, my
God.
personal appearance fee is
Oh, is that right?
astronomical. Yeah,
Is that right?
Astronomical.
So one of the other reasons that we both thought that now, starting off the podcast season, I guess this is season 2. This is season 2. I just realized that.
This season 2.
Season 2. Making Michael the first guest of season 2 is also because it's about that time where those 2-year donations, like some people that sponsored got 2 years. some people were only supposed to get 1 year, but last year I was just so disoriented with,
And we didn't mention Bob Kropp, who
we did not mention Bob Kropp.
who did an incredible job with all the decals.
Yeah. And he donated 95% of it. He donated all of his labor, and he donated 95%
Getting
of
the
that.
old decals and everything off the ambulance was a
was a
monumental
huge,
task.
oh, huge,
That
huge.
I think he donated his time and
He
efforts
did.
for.
He did it while being ill.
Mm-hmm.
And now, he's kind of taken a step back from that part of his job, but Rob at Edge has agreed to, fill in and work with us. And they always say it's not what you know, it's who you know, and that's absolutely true because we have a lot going on, and I think a lot of things sometimes get confusing to people, like, well, you're doing this fundraiser and that fundraiser. So I just want to break a few things down. So this month we only have one fundraiser, and that is Monty Unplugged, and that is on February 24th. February 24th.
24th.
So think old school MTV Unplugged.
Candles on the stage.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Like a Nirvana vibe going on.
Yeah, that's kind of the vibe I'm going for. And it's a normal after dark, so $10 at the door, BYOB, kitchen will be open.
Let's
yada,
expand on
yada,
that for
yada.
just a second.
Yeah,
$10 at the door.
yeah,
You can bring your own alcohol.
yeah.
Probably bring your own chair too, because it fills up. Where else are you going for $10 to get in, get to see a band, talented band? You can drink your whatever you like because you can bring it with you.
Yeah.
There's food,
And
coffee.
it's cheap.
Yeah, like the food is very inexpensive. Coffee is half the price you would pay at Starbucks. or
Yeah, oh yeah,
even
you're getting a
Wawa.
cup of coffee for $3.
Yeah. There's literally no, and I'm the first to want to go out and see a live band somewhere at a bar,
Absolutely.
but there's no better deal. Like, there's no better deal than coming here.
Thank you.
And
I appreciate
you can
that.
shop for records. Like,
Yes.
there's just, you're here. Like, they're open. You can buy records. Happens every time there's an after dark event. Somebody's buying records.
Yeah, it does. It does.
That's why you
And
leave the lights on back there so people can see.
so that they can see. That's true. And, again, for a long time, Jason would say to me, okay, so because we never used to do the after darks strictly for Jakes Baristas. They were always for another charity.
In partnership. With
And
another
partnership with. And Jason would say, listen, I love it. That's great. But we're paying the bills. We're paying the extra electric, the water, our time. We're here until sometimes 2 o'clock in the morning after being here at 10 o'clock in the morning. And again, and I've said it a million times, my heart is way bigger than my brain. It's taken me some time to really start understanding what he's talking about. So we've started getting sponsors for some of these events, like our open mic. We had open mic last month, and Yasich International sponsored it. It's a nominal sponsorship, but it covers the operating costs of those couple hours. And those types of things make a huge difference. I am really bad at the, asking people for money thing, right? And
It's a business.
it
You're running
is,
a business.
but and in full disclosure, no one on my board is particularly apt at asking for donations. I think you
No,
have my back.
Yeah, that would not be my strong.
Right. I don't
suit.
have a fundraiser per se, so a lot of it does fall to me. And right in our mission statement, the very last line talks about, our mission is also focused on grassroots philanthropy. That will never go away. I will always give to other people and to other charities and other organizations. But I've had to kind of switch that a little bit in that, and even the attorney, when she set up my nonprofit, said to me, I've never heard of a nonprofit that's in business to give money to other nonprofits.
Right. Yeah.
And I was like,
It's
well,
unique.
no.
We'll call it unique. We'll say unique.
I'm like, so what I have learned is I have these Kindness Wednesdays. They don't cost me anything.
Right. You're here anyway.
I'm here anyway, but I'm bringing people together for the greater good of different of other organizations, whether it be helping integrate for good with the Sleeping Met Project, whether it be putting together the Ella bags or the veterans bags, or right now we're doing work with Mitzvah Circle. That is a way for us to be philanthropic with our time, and we're teaching the transition students why that's important. Our big event that we do, where we do give 100% away, is the She Festival. And that, I think, is a little confusing for people this year because it's a week after Jakes Baristas' big fundraiser. So I think people are getting confused, and I hope I didn't shoot myself in the foot by scheduling it that way, but it is what it is. So let me backtrack. So this month, we only have one fundraiser, and that's Monty on the 24th. We do have open mic on the 28th, and then we have on the 20th an open blues jam. But there's no cost for either of those events. It's just the open mic. Monty. March, I haven't quite planned out yet. But in April 21st is our second annual Sunday Fun Day cornhole tournament. Last year was a blast.
It's a good time. It's a good time.
Beautiful venue. The social room at Sunnybrook. Deanna and her team do a great job. Joel came over, and Sunnybrook is Soul Joel's. Food was impeccable. It was a brunch last year with a mimosa and a bloody bar. This year, we're doing a barbecue. We'll have some signature cocktails, beer and wine.
And you moved it because last year it interfered with a lot of graduation
It did.
parties.
It interfered with a lot of graduation parties.
And it was
also
150 degrees.
It was. It was hot, and we were in a barn. But
a beautiful barn.
It is beautiful. But April is also Autism Acceptance Month, so it just sort of makes sense, right? This year, the live music is Sidearm, which if anybody is in this area and
so good.
Are live music fans, come just for Sidearm.
Yeah, it's
because
amazing trio.
They are exceptional. One of the best drummers, hands down, that I've ever seen. Richie is an exceptional bass player. They have and singer. The man can sing anything. And they have a new guitar player. His name's Virus, because Ryan has moved on to other ventures. So, that's the talent that we have this year. Last year we had Malone, which everybody loved. But you get a lot for that ticket price, too.
For sure.
Great food. Signature cocktail, and it's all you can drink till it's out. It's 12 to 4. Entry into the cornhole tournament, and it's a just for fun cornhole tournament, but there's prizes. An award ceremony, but it's not a long-winded, you're not sitting there for 4 hours. I think I wrapped everything up in 45 minutes, had a nice little slide presentation, and then everybody got to doing what they were going to do. Great raffles. So that's a really good time.
Sports memorabilia.
Yeah. So for right now, from now until February 15th, tickets are at the early bird price. They're $15. No, they're not. They're $75. Sorry.
They're not $15.
They're not $15.
Don't send $15.
Don't send $15. I'll be like, what's this for?
Yeah. Better be 60 right behind
You
it.
wanted cocktails. I should have eaten dinner. They're $75 right now. After next Friday, they go up to $100. But even still, and last year I had some people say, that's an awful lot of money for brunch and cornhole. This is a fundraiser. It is a charity event. The goal we've set is for us to clear after all of our expenses are paid. And those expenses include the venue, the awards, raffle baskets, decor, the food, the band, all of that. we'd like to make about 35,000. That would carry us through to the last quarter of the year when we have our golf outing, and that's coming up on year 4. That's for another video. That thing's always a good time. But so how you can help, okay, for Sunday Fun Day, buy a ticket, and I'll link below. Donate a raffle basket. Share on your social media. Become a sponsor. There's multiple levels of sponsorships. You could be a sponsor for the awards at $250, or if you have marketing dollars, you could be an elite corporate sponsor for $5,000. And one of the things that we talked about before going on air tonight was, and this is exciting, if you are one of the high dollar sponsors, anything over $1,500,
in addition to being mentioned
on all of the marketing materials,
and at whatever event,
you will be put you'll be put on the ambulance, and we'll do a commercial for you. How about them apples?
I don't know who there'll be a commercial. I don't know if it's going to be.
I have some actors. I'll bring them in.
Talented people who you want to see on camera.
We'll script something.
Not this situation.
We'll script something. We'll write a little jingle. I'll get Charles and Kenny to do something. It'll be fine.
There'll be no jingle.
There'll be no jingle. But, we're always looking for different ways to generate revenue, right? Oh, drink. And
that was you, right?
No, it wasn't me. My ringer's off. I might have a lot.
That's not fair. How can you turn it off?
Because it pops up.
And you don't want anybody.
This thing rings all day long. I don't need to hear it.
That's why I thought it'd be funny if we did.
It would be, but then I would have to kill somebody. So that's April. Okay, that's a way to help us. But the other big thing that happens in April, and this generates no income for us, but this speaks directly to our mission statement. It's our 4th annual She Music Festival. Some things that are different this year is we're doing it out back. Okay, I'm in the process of getting all the permits from the township. So if you're from the township and watching, it's coming.
It's West Norton Township, by the way.
Yeah, it's West Norton Township. I love West Norton Township.
They have been good to us.
They've been very good to us. It's going to be out back. I've got 35 vendors. My spots went like that. And it's all female businesses. And it runs the gamut from everything from holistic home cleaning supplies to sensual aids.
Okay.
Sensual aids. I'll tell you what they are later, honey.
Jay.
I'll tell you what they are later, babe. Crafts, nails, you name it. All kinds of great stuff. And food will be being sold by the Rib House. Melissa has been a huge supporter of She since my first year, and she's going to be doing the food this year.
Ambulance will be running? The ambulance?
Ambulance will be out doing,
record store
non-alcoholic drinks. Record store will be open, and there will be a 25% off sale that day. You'll be getting a coupon. Every time you buy something from one of the vendors, they will give you a coupon.
Not to mention, when you shop here at Vinyl Closet anyway, what do you have, like $6, buy one, get one every day? With this record, buy one for $6, you get a second one for free.
How do you always horn in on my podcast?
This is important.
He feels it's important.
It is important, baby. I'm just teasing.
Right.
I'm just teasing.
So, you should be shopping here anyway, because if you're in the vinyl, which is making a huge comeback, by the way.
It is.
It's great deals. And Jay knows everything about all the records here.
I have a question. Did you drink before you got here?
No, but I feel
You're
like
really chatty.
I'm doing my best. I'm a great co-host. Apparently.
You are a great co-host. I'm just wondering, are you going to are you just not going to speak for the next day and a half after this?
Yeah, this is it. I'm going to use up all my words.
In the 34 years we've known each other, I don't know that we've ever had this much of a conversation.
That's not true.
I know, I'm only teasing.
Jeez.
I'm kidding.
Just the problem is you're usually
I
the
am.
one
I am
doing
the
all
talker.
talking.
I am the talker in this dynamic
That is
duo
true.
of
That is
us.
true.
But like I said, lots of vendors. The Snack Shack will be there. Rotation Productions is running sound this year, so it's going to be impeccable. And then
Check out that nonprofit too.
Rotation Gives, yeah.
Another great nonprofit.
They do a lot for us. We try to do for them. I'm going to link all of the different nonprofits that we're talking about because, again, I'm only as strong as the company I keep, right? And I try to surround myself with people of the same ilk and people that have the same spirit of giving and love that I have. It's in here. This would tell you otherwise, right? But once you get to know it, there are days where it's actually quite pleasant.
I've heard that. I've
Funny.
heard that rumor.
No, listen, I said today to Dave, I said, look, bitch is my baseline. Okay? Anybody that knows me knows that. Can only go up.
So we acknowledge that then.
You acknowledge it.
Right.
But you also know that if I love you, I will slay a dragon for you.
Prove it.
I think I have. So,
No dragons.
no dragons. So, in addition to Rotation Running Sound, we've got the VCB, that is the band, the house band, newly on Facebook, so give them a follow. And we're going to talk a little bit more about them in subsequent weeks, and we'll have them on again. We had a really great episode with them in season 1, but we'll talk about some things that they're all doing for season 2. And you're going to see a lot more from them because, again, I said I like to surround myself by like-minded people. This is a band of very busy musicians, solid players in high-demand bands in this area that have all come together for the benefit of my family and, for Jason and I. Did you break your belt?
Yeah.
How'd you break your belt?
Edit this part out too, Steve.
Did it just pop off?
Edit this out too. Nobody cares.
Are you sure you want to?
No, I don't want this edited. Jason's belt broke.
Not that he's fat.
I'm sorry.
Tell the world.
Mommy will buy you a new belt. Where was I going with this? I was talking about the VCB.
And they're fantastic
Oh, yeah.
musicians.
I mean, they're fantastic musicians, and they are literally like a super group. Our thought, was they'll play, She Fest and maybe do one-off things, once a year here. But they have a different idea. And that's really been spearheaded a lot by Ron Chinapi and Mike Natalini, who want to do more to bring awareness to our nonprofit and to help us sustain our mission by donating their time and talent at other venues and, then donating whatever their compensation is.
More details to come.
With more details to come, yes. Which that's just, you don't see that a lot. So we now refer to them as Barista Jake's right-hand band.
Great name.
Isn't that a great
It's
name?
a great name.
And, yes, babe, that
Jay's
was
got his
a
hand-
Jason
you can't see it,
McFarlane.
but Jay has his hands up back there.
That was a
taking credit
Jason
for that.
McFarlane.
Right-hand band.
Yes, it was perfect. Other people I want to shout out to, and I'm going to have them on the podcast, Kristen Carey and Tina from Level Up to Entertainment. Did you read the profile they just did on Jake?
Jake, yes, I did.
How great was that?
It was fantastic.
I mean, it was heartwarming. It was funny. I read it to him last night, and he said he can read, but he doesn't have Facebook. And I was reading it to him last night, and I said, "How's that make you feel?" And he goes, "I like that people like me." And I was like, "Aw." So there's a lot of people that we really couldn't do some of the things that we do without. So, them promoting us. So you're going to see us in the next, I'm trying not to inundate people with, hey, donate here, donate to us, donate to us. But we are putting together the pricing to relaunch ambulance sponsorship. I might wait and do that late March or at least after Sunday Fun Day as to not complicate things.
We do have some ideas about how to make that better.
Yes.
Version 2.0 is what I call it.
Yeah, he does call it version 2.0, but he also says that that's just the first in many fleets.
First of many in the fleet. It's one fleet. Lots of. Listen, let's be clear about it. The ambulance is, when it's out at an event, it earns money for the nonprofit, but more people see it
True.
at those events who might never see, who don't follow you on social media, or
Right.
who may not come by
Preston
here.
Elliott.
Right, Preston Elliott from MMR's morning show. He's a fan.
Yep.
He is.
He got coffee. Him and Jake had
Yeah.
a great conversation to the point that he even talked about it
Mentioned it on the morning show.
on the
at
morning
MMR.
show to Steve. And Steve was like, "Oh, I got coffee from him the year before."
Yeah, so they would not necessarily come by here, but
Right.
It being out at those events helps not only your mission, but everybody who sponsors that. Your name gets seen.
Yeah.
Like it's on hundreds at this
It's
point.
it's basically a moving billboard.
Yeah, does all of that transfer to dollars for those businesses? Not necessarily, but a lot of the time it does.
Yeah. I get asked a lot of questions. What's this? Who's that company?
Right. It's and the bands who donated, who have their own section on the whole thing. The plan is to, I think,
expand that.
yeah, and we want to make it a little. I'm looking out the window at it right now. We want to make it a little flashier, get a little more notice. So there's going to
Can
be.
I get rims?
I have put chrome on it. Like, what else do you want?
I don't know. Can you make them glittery?
Spinner? No.
No eyelashes.
No eyelashes.
Eyelashes like Lynn's Jeep? That'd be so cool.
There's, we want to do, maybe this year it's a partial wrap and the rest are logos for,
Right.
Because some of the stuff on there won't change.
Right.
It's the coffee closet with Barista Jake, first and foremost. Vinyl Closet Records as a huge sponsor. They give us a parking spot.
They give us a parking spot.
And electricity to keep it plugged in.
They do.
So those sponsorships, when they come
I pay
up.
you rent.
When those sponsorships come up, it's a good return. It's a decent return on what it costs to
And it's
sponsor.
100% tax deductible.
Also that part.
Yeah, 100%
tax deductible.
Anytime you donate to us, whether it be your $10 at an After Dark, I can give you a receipt. I don't necessarily want to have to print them every single time, but I can. But, we are a full-fledged 501(c)(3). So any donation that you make to us is tax deductible.
Can we expand on that for just a second? Let's
Sure.
expand on that.
Yeah.
There is no shortage of need for your money, for people asking for donations and things.
Right.
But also, there are lots of nonprofits that don't need your money.
Right.
For example, and there's nothing wrong with these charities; they're great. But the Red Cross doesn't need your $50. They're going to be okay. They have corporate sponsors, which we do not have.
Right.
They have millions of dollars, and lots of, CEOs that make $500,000, and they need those people.
Oh,
But
yeah.
It's a large corporation that they're running, so they need people with that kind of talent. But you donate $100 here, you can see that it went to buying bags of coffee to sell, or buying coffee to brew here, or cups for the, you can see immediately where that money goes.
That was another thing that you said to me that I had never really thought of. You had mentioned, you were like, anytime somebody donates to you, their donation, it's a tangible thing that they can see.
Yeah, you
They
can
can
almost show them which cups they bought.
Right.
It's almost like,
Right.
you can see it right away.
100%.
And that's not to take anything away from those large nonprofits that, do lots of advertising
Right.
and, get millions of dollars. I spent, me and my family spent 18 years in a row
Yep.
doing the walk at Einstein, the walk through the park. Every year, they took wonderful care of my mother. They cared for my dad before he passed. And I was happy to do it. But last year, we didn't do it. I was at the walk. Was that last year? That was
Yeah,
last year.
but you were there with me.
Right. So I went to the walk, and I thought my time was better spent with the ambulance on site doing what we do, for the nonprofit.
Right.
Einstein's going to be okay without that donation from me. Great people. They've been great to us, but they're going to be okay. I felt like my time was better spent doing what we're doing. And those things, you asked me why I do what I do. Mm-hmm. And I can see the impact that I'm having.
Yeah. And, to that end, there's two nonprofits that we have an affiliation with that shut down and or shifted gears in the new year. One is the Communities Cup, which is the people that make these unbelievable chocolate chip cookies.
So good.
Very sad day for my customers that this is not happening anymore. I still have some inventory, thank God.
I'll be buying one.
Right. But, Ellen and Hannah, her daughter, recognized the struggles. And they had to switch gears multiple times. And now is the time that they just need to focus on their family. Because it's very hard. It's very hard. Everybody would always go to her, can you donate cookies to us? But she's covering the cost of making those cookies. People don't quite realize that. And then Shane and Pepper Candle Company in Lansdale, I'm going to be honest, I'm still not 100% clear on what the direction is at this point. But I do know that they had to shut down their actual brick and mortar location. And I think that they're moving everything 100% online. I don't know what that's going to look like for some of the other things that they had on the horizon. But I think that maybe those programs are stalled too because they did not get the financial support that they needed. And they very actively tried to fundraise. So we get it. There's a lot of people asking you for money all the time. I'm always fascinated by certain nonprofits. Like, how do they sustain? How? When I can't get, it took 9 months to get $8,000 for that ambulance. And I don't know if it's because I'm just not good at marketing it or if it wasn't a proven commodity. Like, people needed to understand what the value was. And I think so. I think that's probably a big part of it because, full disclosure, I started this whole thing solely for the benefit of Jacob. The fact that it has benefited other young people, the fact that other families have reached out and have actually said, your family inspires us, or we see so much of our son in Jake and it gives us hope. That's a whole nother level.
Can you explain to anybody who might be seeing this or hearing about this for the first time what are you telling me to
I'm
pick
just
up?
saying you're not as loud as I need you to be.
Pick it up.
Go ahead.
Um,
Producers got jokes.
What I'm saying is, can you just explain
Yeah.
quickly, please,
Quickly.
what it is like the nonprofit does? Like, you're here for teens and young adults,
Yeah.
teaching them.
So we have
skills.
a rotation of various students,
That's
whether
what I
it
was
be
getting at.
kids
Transition
from
students, things
Upper
like that.
Marion, Norristown's transition program, PV, Springford, and what? And, they come in. I'm the only job coach. So maybe 2 to 3 hours at a time. They come in, and it really depends on the flow of the day. There are some days that it's taking out the trash, sweeping the floors, filling the carafes for coffee, grinding beans, wiping down tables, that kind of thing. There's other days where we're literally just sitting and having a conversation, and we're working on social skills. And that is just as valuable for these young people as anything else, because they lack a lot of that. There are some of these young adults, teens and young adults, that have a wealth of knowledge and can do any job, but they don't know how to present themselves. So working with them and helping them kind of get through some of that anxiety is tremendously beneficial, I think. Today, Amar was here, and he's with the Kaleidoscope group. And he comes in every Thursday, and he calls it his volunteer hours. And he's I think he's 27 or 28. He's on the spectrum. And he sat for 15 minutes and was explaining to Jake all the reasons why Jake should plan a trip to the Bahamas on a cruise. And just to listen to Jake go back and forth. Well, what did you do? What was there to eat? Do they have French fries? Do they have coffee? Is there a pool? And then it led to a whole nother conversation about, well, I mean, hey, he's hungry. And then it led to a whole nother conversation about water parks. And the bottom line is, Jake said, you know what, Mom, I think I might want to go to a water park this year. I might want to try that. That is worth so much to me. And I guess if you don't have a child that has those struggles, it's not going to resonate with you. But if you do, if you know, you know. One of our associates who comes in on Sundays, his mom came in last week, and when she picked him up, she was very upset. She had just gotten an email from his I guess it was his teacher and his supervisor at his job placement. And the email was not written in a way that I think was positive. And it really hurt the student's mom's feelings. And she started to cry because she said, he's 20 years old. I don't know what else to do. The school district doesn't provide this, that, and the other thing. And that's what we're dealing with. You know, there's a lot. Families are taking the bull by the horns when they can and creating these programs. My friend Maureen Stanko created So Much to Give Inspiration Studio and the So Much to Give program solely for her son, Nikki. That then developed into her partnering and having the cafe.
Which is what happened here. You started this for Jake.
I did.
It has now evolved into helping people who have, what do you call, aged out of the
school system, yeah. And or are in that transition phase. I remember Jake being in, I want to say 7th grade, and I got this paper from school, and it was asking me all kinds of what I felt were ridiculous questions, like, will Jacob be interested in working on cars in his future? Will Jacob be able to make, like, as if I had a crystal ball. And I remember calling his teacher and going, what the hell, how am I supposed to answer these questions? Like, I can't even get the kid to take a shower, like, without me being in there and putting the shampoo on his hair for him. I don't know. There's a disconnect somewhere between adolescence and adulthood for these kids that have different abilities within learning. And we got to figure it out. We got to figure it out. And we're all doing something a little bit different in order to do that. But we're trying to make everybody aware in our own way. But if you just do a Google search of families that have started businesses for their special needs child, there's a reason there's so many of us. There's an absolute reason. And, you know, the problem is, though, we can't sustain without the help of you, your neighbor, your company. Who?
Or the lottery.
The lottery, winning the lottery.
The chances of hitting the lottery are fairly slim.
Right.
So if
Well, what are the chances of me getting like a, I don't know, a nice big $100,000 donation from like Merck?
So that's a good point. I mean, if you know anything about grants, if you're a grant writer, you've gotten grants before, please reach out to Angie and help her.
Because
There's
I'm not.
lots of grants out there, and we don't have anybody who knows how that works.
Right.
Specifically.
And the couple grants that I have applied for, I have not gotten. Originally, it was because I was too new, not a proven commodity. You know, the grants, the functionality of grants are that there are certain stipulations behind them, right? If you get a technology grant, it has to be used for X, Y, Z. We need more of a generalized grant that allows us to, number one, compensate team members, because, and I could get in trouble for saying this, but I'm going to. The kids that work here, I pay them. I give them money before they go. Right under the table. You know why? Because nobody...
Just kidding, IRS. She's just kidding.
I'm not.
What?
Nobody should work for free. And what that's teaching them is that their time and their skill set is valuable. But I can't afford to actually pay them a living wage because I'm not getting a living wage. So
Any wage.
Any wage. So we need, we definitely need some help with grant writing.
And they're out there. There's tons of grants out there for all kinds of different
Make
things.
you a proven commodity.
You just need help with one. Just
You need
one.
a grant to make you that before you can do any more.
Yeah.
That's the voice of God that you hear right now. That's
You know what I'm saying?
God talking to us directly.
It's the truth.
I know.
You don't see him. None of us do.
You can't become a proven commodity without.
You're right.
Thank you. Thank you, Lord.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lord.
Thank you, sir. All right. So I'm going to step down off my soapbox. Let's play Getting to Know Mike Apple.
No.
Yes.
Let's not play that. Nobody wants to know.
I bet they do.
They don't.
I'll bet they do, because the misconception is that you're quiet and that you're shy and that you're reserved, or that you're sullen and you don't talk to people, and it's just because you are an observer. You watch everything.
Sometimes people also suck. So
Facts. First concert you ever went to?
first concert I went to was Sha Na Na at the Valley Forge Music Fair with my parents.
That's cute.
How old are you?
I don't
Jason
remember.
asked how old he was.
I don't remember.
Were you a
how
big
old-
Bowser fan?
I feel like we watched that show. Like, I think my parents and I and my brother
Oh yeah.
watched that show.
Yeah.
And that, yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Sha Na Na at the Valley Forge Music Fair. I don't remember how old I was.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Probably 70s.
Yeah, I mean, I was born in 71.
Late
Moved,
70s?
so we moved here in 77, 76 from Pittsburgh. I'm from Pittsburgh. So somewhere early 80s probably. Yeah, early 80s. Whenever Sean and I was no longer on the air probably, they were just touring.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was a show.
Last concert you were at? Like actual concert, not like Former Strangers last Saturday.
Like last national act I went to?
Yeah. Like a ticketed show. Well, actually, no, because that would have been Jamie and the Garden Heart, right?
The last national touring act that I saw was Fall Out Boy at the Freedom Mortgage Pavilion in Camden.
Were they with the Head and the Heart or something?
No, I saw the Revivalists the month before with the Head and the Heart. I saw Fall Out Boy with. There were two other bands. One was called Bring Me the Horizon.
Oh yeah, you loved them.
Who I thought were great.
Yeah.
And Fall Out Boy, the show was great.
Yeah.
Fall Out Boy was great.
Did you feel old?
Not at all. No.
No?
No.
It was
did
our age?
A lot of younger people there, but I feel like some of those songs were, you know, it was.
Well, Sugar I'm Going Down Swinging came out in what, 95, 96?
It might have been 1895. I mean, who knows?
I love that song.
That was the last ticketed like national show. Yeah, I mean, we saw Jamie and the God at Heart.
We did.
We saw J.D.
It
Malone.
was phenomenal.
Yeah,
Phenomenal. What was your favorite concert ever?
I don't know that I had a favorite, but the one that
What-
I'm glad
what?
I saw.
What?
I don't know that I have a favorite, but the one that I'm most happy that I saw was 1985. It was Ozzy Osbourne, the Ultimate Sin Tour. Hold on. Guess who opened for him?
Anthrax?
Metallica.
Oh.
Metallica opened for Ozzy. Huh?
Master Puppets.
Sure. Let's say that.
I saw him in 88 with Anthrax.
Yeah.
State of Euphoria
That was at
and-
the Spectrum.
Crazy Babies or whatever the frick it's called.
Yeah, that was at the Spectrum.
Really? That's the one you're going with?
That's the one I remember.
No rest for the wicked.
Like that's
Yeah,
the
no
one that
Rest
I'm like. Who else has seen? Probably people watching this podcast.
I've seen Ozzy and Metallica.
No. But I mean, who else has seen when Metallica was like the opening band for somebody else? Like it's been a minute.
Okay.
I did.
Of course you did.
They
But
should've
what
been
about
up there.
the concert? The defining concert
Think about it, Mike.
of my life, and I know it
Right,
was of
I
yours.
know. I know what you're going. I know where you're going. I know where you're going. Yes,
Uh,
we saw the only ever first Temple of the Dog show.
Yes, we did.
Their first ever tour, the very first night
Yep.
at the Tower Theater, which was amazing.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, it was an amazing show.
It was. I'm really surprised that wasn't you, because that is even less common, because how many people does the Tower hold? And they only did a handful of shows, right?
And at some point, I'm going to say before that, don't rely on my memory, I saw Cornell solo acoustic,
You did, yeah.
the songbook tour
Yeah.
at the Keswick, which was also amazing. One of my favorite.
Yeah.
Listen, I've seen a lot of great shows. I saw Henry Rollins do spoken word.
Yeah, you
at
were
the
with
Shrine.
me.
No, I was with my sister.
I think you guys, I was with you know who, but I think you guys were there
Were you
at
there?
the same
Oh,
time.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
went with my sister. She had the tickets.
Yeah.
Great show. I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of memorable stuff.
Who'd you go to see Ozzy with?
My brother and Greg Wenning, who was a friend from high school.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, all right, favorite food?
Grilled cheese.
Or chicken tenders?
Not even. Like, grilled cheese is the number one thing that I eat.
What do you get when you go to Wawa?
Great question.
You get a cheese
Oh,
quesadilla?
No.
Oh.
No, I get chicken and rice most of the time.
Oh,
Just chicken and rice.
plain.
Yeah, sometimes with feta cheese, sometimes without.
That's adventurous for him.
Yeah. Then I will, when I get home, actually, the truth is that I take a bunch of lemon juice packets from their coffee station and I put lemon juice in it. Yeah, that's it. I have a very simple and limited palate.
Palate, yeah. Favorite pastime?
I'm going to say softball when the weather's softball weather. Some of you know what I'm talking about.
And I got to tell
Some
you,
of us are on 4 teams together.
he's 53. And as my how old's Christopher? 28? As my 27-year-old son said, Mike Apple's got wheels.
Right. It's the only thing I got left.
Looks pretty good for his age.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
does.
It's the only thing I got left. And people keep telling me, at some point you got to stop.
Yeah, you don't.
No. That's not,
No.
that's what I'm afraid of. Once I stop, I'll start to fall apart. So,
I mean, the only thing really on you that doesn't work, besides, you've got weird stomach things, is the fact that you constantly can't breathe because of your allergies.
yeah, it's definitely not the dogs and stuff that I'm allergic to that I'm living here.
The dogs are not here, jerk.
Right, but they're everything
Yeah,
else that
they
the
are.
dogs
I know.
Handle that every day, not being able to breathe.
When I'm not here, I can breathe.
When he's not here, he can breathe.
I can
yeah.
breathe. Like when I'm at home, I can breathe. I'm in my car, I can breathe.
Uh,
What else you got?
Favorite new band? Newish band.
So I don't know how new he is. So I use Pandora.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people like Spotify. I like Pandora because when they first, I guess when that app first happened, they were using what they called the music genome.
Oh, yeah,
They were
yeah.
like breaking down music that you liked and finding other bands and artists that match that. And I got to tell you, they've dozens of new artists.
Oh, yeah.
So I think it's just one guy, I think, but he's called City and Color. Singer-songwriter, great. A good friend introduced me to the Revivalists. I love them. I listen to them all the time. And honestly, because I like a lot of different music, there's a rapper who sounds like it's hip-hop, NF, who I know is very popular now, but I had never heard of him before the last 2 years. Sounds like Eminem. Amazing.
Really?
Yeah.
I had a bout while watching the Grammys last week of feeling
I didn't watch the Grammys.
really old because
I don't watch the Grammys. I don't know
I
anything.
mean, listen, there were parts of it that were really good. I thought Miley killed. You love Miley.
When you say love, I mean I can appreciate that she can do a rock song,
Yeah.
a metal song
Yeah.
well. I like that. I mean I can appreciate
He
that.
does love Cyndi Lauper, though.
I do love not 80s girls just want to have fun Cyndi Lauper, newer acoustic covering those songs. Let's be honest. People who were popular when we were in our 20s and 30s, when they do acoustic versions of those songs now,
Yeah.
way better.
Oh, absolutely.
If you listen to Aha,
Oh, yeah.
You Take on Me acoustic,
Yeah.
way better.
Oh, same with Men at Work.
Yep.
The acoustic versions of Overkill and
Yeah.
Who Can It Be Now? So good.
Much better. Cyndi Lauper's the same thing, and she plays whatever that thing is that sits on her lap. Is that what is that?
I don't know.
The
Kazoo?
instrument.
Oh, no, that's
it's not on her lap. It's like a.
Is
it's
it
not
the
a-
thing Bobby plays?
Like a guitar.
Is it cajon?
No, it's a stringed instrument.
Oh, I don't
and
know.
it's kinda like a harpsichord or whatever. But it sits on her lap. I'm sure there's a name for it. I know there's a name for it. I just don't know what it is. And it's just her on the stage, her and her psoriasis
I
and all that.
was going to say, her and her plaque psoriasis.
Right. Like, but she's really good. Like, I give credit where credit is due. She's really good.
Favorite TV show of all time?
Of all time,
Yeah.
MASH.
Yeah. Current favorite TV show?
I do not have a current favorite TV.
You
I
know-
don't watch much TV anymore.
What's the most recent thing you've watched?
I am currently watching the Mr. and Mrs. Smith series
Oh.
on Prime with Donald Glover.
How's that?
It's okay.
Is that Childish Gambino?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't love it. I don't hate it. I'm hoping something great happens.
Did you finish Afterlife?
I did. Afterlife, Ricky Gervais.
Oh my God.
I mean, the guy he's me.
He is you. He is you. If you really want to get to know who Mike Apple is, watch one episode of Afterlife on Netflix with Ricky Gervais.
Ricky Gervais's character.
To a T.
Yeah.
To a T.
Yeah, it's sad.
Who do you like better, me or Jason?
Yes.
That's a horrible question.
Yes.
And it's going to be you. I mean,
You didn't even listen to the answer.
you
You're
said
so
yes.
busy talking. You didn't even listen.
I heard yes.
I said yes.
Because you couldn't pick one.
Right. I could not pick between the two of you.
This is a loaded question. Favorite local band to go out and see?
You have to be careful.
Ah, I know the
I
answer
don't have
though.
to be. No, there's no answer actually.
No?
No, I don't. I don't have a favorite. I have people that I am certainly closer to. Obviously, the guys, Monty.
Yeah.
They're great friends of
Well,
mine.
they're your
the boys
nephews
are
and your
like
niece.
yeah.
Yeah.
Russ is one of my best friends.
Right.
But
Who do you like
clearly-
better, me or Russ?
Right. So, but clearly, like the way, because we're dumb. When our bands are playing in two different places, we'll go see one and then leave after in the middle of the second set to try to go catch the other one.
I know, because we're waiting for you to buy a big ass bar so that we can have them all play in rotation.
Oh, is he doing that?
We're trying, man.
Listen, if you are in a big building that you can let us rent out for a night, we're gonna have all of our band
Oh my God, it
friends.
would be amazing. It's going to be like
We never get-
Nashville comes to Norristown.
Yes.
It's because our friends who all like each other, who are all in different bands, are always playing. Sometimes often at the same
Often
time.
at the same time.
So they want to see each other play. So we want to do it all in like one night.
Yeah.
Where everybody can just play a couple songs.
Yep.
And then they can jam together with different people.
That's why you'll
So
see
let
if you
us
come
have
to
that building.
Ribstock, which let's plug Ribstock. Ribstock
Yeah.
is next Sunday. Benefactors for Ribstock this year, huh?
Next Sunday?
That's next Sunday. This Sunday is the 11th. Next Sunday is the 18th. Benefactors of that, I think it's $10 at the door, are Expressive Paths and the Adam Ferrioli family, who just passed, God rest his soul, from Get the Let Out to take care of Heather and his children. And I think the Upper Marion Food Pantry and Bridgeport Little League. But, that's 6 or 8 very big bands. But one of the things that I always love about that is you'll see the bands all sticking around after their set because they want to see their friends play. I guess that's one of the...
That's at the Bridgeport Rib House.
That's at the Bridgeport Rib House.
Sunday.
Next Sunday, the 18th.
There's a charge, a cover.
$10.
And that's the only
$10.
time the Rib House charges a cover.
That's it.
And-
Well,
but they
no,
have-
if they're doing a benefit. Like they do
Right.
them for... Like if they do a benefit for whatever reason, they did one for So Much to Give last week. So that, I think, was $10.
If you go on any normal night and
Yeah.
they have music just about every night,
Yeah.
there's never a cover for
Absolutely.
that stuff. And the foods were really good.
Food's really good,
job,
and
Melissa.
some of the best servers and hottest bartenders in the area. Let's give it up to Christy and Megan in particular.
What else you got?
What else? Favorite memory of us?
What kind of nonsense is that?
Like,
I don't have a favorite memory.
you don't?
No.
Just say right now.
Favorite memory of Jake, then?
Okay. My favorite memory
Yeah.
of
Oh, God, I know what it's going to be. Yeah.
when you were on stage at some event and I don't know how it came up, but somebody said something to you that you were relaying the story, and you're like, he's pretty damn autistic. I was like, I was funny and harsh all at the same time.
That's
like, he
me.
doesn't seem that. I'm like, he's pretty damn
He's
autistic.
pretty damn autistic.
Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah, because people will say all the time, he doesn't look autistic. I'm like, well, we combed his hair to the left instead of the right. What the frig you want
What
me
does
to say?
autistic look like?
All right, so we're going to be putting some sponsorships out for the ambulance. We got a lot of stuff going on. Sunday Fun Day keeps our mission going, so please join us. You'll be able to see. Wonder who's going to win the President's Award this year, because you can't win it 2 years in a row.
And it won't be Jay.
It will not be Jay. It will not be my daughter or Jay, because I will never give them an award, even though they do sit on the board. I have other family members that sit on the board.
They're in the running.
They may be in the running, but we won't do that. But we have, the Volunteer of the Year award, and I just made that decision and announcement to the person's father today. We have the Hollinger Memorial Humanitarian Award, and I made that announcement to the person yesterday. We have the Community Partner Award, and I made that announcement this morning to the person who's receiving that. And we have the Associate of the Year, and I made that announcement to the mom of the associate last week. So I haven't put it out for the public yet, but the only thing that hasn't happened yet is the President's Award. So if you're on the board, you have like 2 months to really kiss my ass.
Step up your game.
Step up your game. You got big shoes to fill.
Yeah. Speaking of volunteers, if any of you are willing to volunteer to work here, make some sandwiches in the kitchen,
Yeah.
serve some coffee, that enables Angie to keep the brick and mortar spot open while we're doing events with the ambulance.
Yeah, we got a lot of that. When we have an event, Jake and I go. We can't be here, right? And I get a lot of people, I came in and you were closed. Why are you always closed? Why are you... But funny, those people don't show up when I am open. I can't be in two places at once. And the reality is, a lot of times people do want to see Jake. But he's not the only reason for this anymore, right? So, we have other baristas. You could come in here and see Hannah on a Saturday. You could see Mikey on a Sunday. You could come in and see one of the transition kids, Keith or Jack on a Wednesday. You could see Amar on a Thursday. So there are other students that deserve your support and sort of your props, right? Jake's the face, but Jake's the face, yeah. But it's really a big community. So we'll link everything below, and these are going to be more consistent. Next episode, we have Bobby Perillis from the band Sidearm and Octane. Hands down, one of my favorite human beings to walk the earth. Exceptional drummer, very philanthropic, funny, talented. What? And
great goatee.
Great goatee.
Like,
great goatee.
Yeah.
And not
tune in just for that.
just for that. Yeah,
crazy.
he actually sometimes decorates it.
Yeah.
I wonder if I could learn how to play the drums.
He's like Lou Albano. Nobody knows who Lou Albano is. There's one person who's watching that's going to know who Lou Albano is.
Yeah, it's Russ.
Right.
Oh, by the way, Monty, when is this going to drop?
When do you want to drop?
That's the producer/editor, Stan.
Would you like it tomorrow?
I would.
Check out Stan's podcast,
Yes,
the Express Lane
the
podcast.
Express Lane podcast.
Him and Kev talk about everything.
Everything. And we were actually on there, and Stan and Kev are going to be our guests. I've been saying it since we started, and have never actually made it happen, but we're going to. And so this is going to drop by the time you're seeing this, tonight is Monty at Screwballs. 5 to 8 is Ava D. Ridiculous talent.
It's at the Whip Page.
Ridiculous talent
They're
at
not
the Whip
Screwballs.
Pane. Oh, what did I say?
You said Screwballs.
See,
They're at
this
the-
is why I shouldn't do the cocktails part. I
This
should
Friday,
have.
this Friday, February 9th, Ava D. Fury, happy hour at the Whip Pane Tavern, followed by Monty at 9 o'clock, their debut at the Whip Pane.
No cover.
Also, amazing food there, too.
So good.
I recommend the cheesesteak egg rolls.
They were good.
They're the best around. Best around.
Really. They were good.
Yeah. Like I'm a connoisseur.
Yeah, right. But also, check out all of the ladies that are participating in our She Festival, please.
Where's
Like
the
I
list of
said,
that?
some of the most talented women in the area. Lynn Emilio from Former Strangers. Colette from Atomic Blonde and the Sneaks. Michaela Montalbano from Monty. Cecilia Montalbano. She's a self-titled artist.
Winner of Julia's Joy.
Winner of Julia's Joy last year. Natalie from Lobster Top Martini. Robin Hallman. She's actually getting her chops wet again. She played back in the day some bands that you may have heard of. Catherine Zaki from Sounds of Phoenix. Gia Pisano from Gia Bastinowitz. Gia Pisano-Bastinowitz. That's too much. That's too much.
It's Gia.
Gia from Music by Giovanna. From that's even long too.
Right, Sounds of
Girl,
Phoenix.
you need to shorten your name. From Sounds of Phoenix.
Camille.
Camille K. Maureen Stanko from Yumi and Rini. Peggy from True Blue Band. Corey from Roads Less Traveled. Ava D. Who? Kristen from Basic Cable.
I was just going to say that.
There's one more, and this is going to make me mad. Who am I forgetting?
Don't be mad.
Don't be mad.
Whoever this
I've been
is.
drinking. Hold on. It's going to be... Did I say Lynn already?
Yes,
Because that
you
would be
started
really
with
bad,
Lynn.
considering she's like one of the...
You started with Lynn.
I did.
Yeah.
Nope.
said
Kathleen. Damn it. Sorry, Kathleen. Kathleen Holt from the Hot Sauce Junkies.
Oh.
Let me tell you something. These are powerhouse singers, and they are all doing songs that are by female artists only. That's another thing that we changed this year. And we're going to talk a little bit with each of them, you know, some behind the scenes stuff, but just unbelievable vocalists. Same with the band. Like I said, the Vinyl Closet Band, Mike Nat, Ron Shinapi, Mike Yasich, Tracy Ingram, Michael Duva, and Freddie Geller's RMC. And the benefit is for Unite for Her, which is a new benefactor this year. And we'll be posting a big profile about them, as well as Laurel House. So I'll be posting their wish list and all that. So I need raffle baskets for that. I need you to attend. It's April 28th, but we have a rain date of May 5th because sometimes shit I plan outside tends to turn into a monsoon.
Yeah, there are tsunamis.
That's it.
Not tsunami.
Monsoon.
Yeah.
Monsoon,
Tsunami's a wave.
tsunami. Yeah, whatever. My hair is particularly curly because I have a new
We're
product.
done. Yeah, we're
Do we
done
like
now.
it?
Yeah, we're done.
Wait, one more question. Who's your best friend, me or Sheila?
Yes.
Just kidding, Sheila. All right. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you next week. Thanks, Dan.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Stan.
No problem.
Bye, guys.